key people that brought
got
the
the keys,
sweep to Phoenix. It is Jae Crowder. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Now, you swept the Nuggets. You're in the Western Conference Finals. From someone who's in the locker room every day, it seems like there's some special chemistry with this Suns team. What does it feel like?
I mean, it feels great. Obviously, a lot of guys are locked in right now. We got from top to bottom, coaching staff, players, all locked in on one goal. Everything's clicking right now. Even when it gets tough, we're still fighting it together, doing everything together. And it's paying off for us right now, as you can see.
Being a veteran and a free agent during an offseason is like picking a stock. And the Suns were 8-0. Monty Williams is a terrific coach. What was the final thing that made you want to join this Phoenix Suns season?
I mean, Devin Booker, I felt like as a player in this league, that's a talent who hasn't been able to play meaningful basketball games, and I wanted to help him get to that point. I want to be a piece to the puzzle to help get him to play meaningful basketball, and that's playoff basketball. And I felt like the group had what it took, a couple of missing pieces, and I felt like when Chris Paul signed, it was an easy decision for me in the sense of if I was going to leave Miami, where I was going to go, because the pieces that was already in place. I felt like Chris Paul he's proven in this league to be arguably one of the best point guards to ever play the game. So it was not an easy decision to leave Miami, but at the same time, when I made the decision to come to Phoenix, I felt like it was the best decision for myself and for this organization to help get to where we need to be.
It certainly feels like there's a really good vibe in Phoenix with the crowd and with your team, and obviously sweeping the Nuggets helps. You guys did a good job. No one can stop the MVP of the league, the Joker, but you guys did a good job limiting him. What was the strategy going up against the MVP?
DeAndre Ayton, just giving him a lot of different looks, making it tough as possible on him, making him feel you all game for 48 minutes, put your hands on him a little bit. I just think he's a great player. Obviously, we know he can pass and score. We just want to make it as difficult as possible and help DeAndre as much as possible on cross screens and ISO post-ups and stuff like that. But I think DeAndre Ayton did a great job of just making it tough on him each and every night and basically making him work on both ends of the court.
Jay, so many times in this era of analytics, players get judged by stats. And Chris Paul's greatness will never be judged by him always having gaudy numbers. So for those of us that don't get a chance to play with Chris Paul, can you acknowledge what the Chris Paul impact actually is on a basketball team?
I mean, he's the brains to the machine. If that makes any sense, he's the one who's orchestrating everything. He's putting everything in line, especially if you can see his worth in the fourth quarter. Look at all the fourth quarters we play, and look at how he dictates the game. Look at how he controls the game. Look how he gets guys shots, and if they're not getting himself a shot, he just controls the game at a high level. Like the mental part that he brings to the game has put him like the best player I ever played with mentally. You know, just him orchestrating the whole game on both ends of the court, talking, being a leader. And just controlling the game. I think, like I said, the fourth quarter of this whole series, he's dominated it. And then we put the ball in his hands to not only just get his shot off, but make other guys, myself and other guys, be more aggressive and get their shots off as well. So he does a great job of just leading our team, especially in those fourth quarters. We depend on him. We put the ball in his hands to make plays, not only for himself, but for other people. And he does it on a nightly basis.
So in the previous series, when you guys played the Lakers, a lot of times you had the matchup of guarding LeBron James. What is it like when you know going into the game that you're going to have to guard LeBron?
I'm up for the challenge. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I want to guard the best player because I want to give my chance. I want to give my team a chance to win. I feel like I do a good job of just making it tough. I don't stop anybody. It's tough to stop guys in this league with the way we score and the way the league is scoring. But you want to make it as tough as possible on guys and be an a-hole sometimes. And I'm able to do that here and there. But obviously LeBron is a great player. He's the greatest player in our league right now. And I just wanted to make it as tough as possible for him and get him frustrated a little bit. And hopefully things go our way. And I think that's what happened.
I like to see glue guys get celebrated. Like when I'm watching the Bucks play against the Nets, I'm appreciating that people are acknowledging what PJ Tucker brings to the game. I appreciate that now people see you knocking down threes, guarding the Joker, guarding LeBron. People get a chance to appreciate your game on this big stage. But you know what people don't get a chance to see tough guys like you do?
What's that?
That's have fun. And I appreciated you breaking down that salsa. Where did you get the moves from, baby? You was living your best life out there, family.
Hey, Jalen, game 3, they tried to clown us game 3. I don't know if y'all saw that, but they was trying to clown us a little bit game 3. And I told myself, once we get this thing done, I got a few moves in my bag for them. That's what I was thinking, though.
Well,
I couldn't dance game 3 though. I had to wait to game 6 till we get the job done a little bit.
Now, obviously, you guys get a little bit of a break before you play in the Western Conference Finals because right now the Clippers and the Jazz are knotted up at 2-2. What is the experience like watching those games, knowing that you're going to face one of those teams in the Western Conference Finals?
I'm watching film. You guys may look at it as like watching the game, but I'm really dissecting both teams. I'm watching how Clippers are going small and trying to shake up the series a little bit with that. I'm watching how both teams are just attacking one another. I'm just watching film. I'm watching it as those guys are going to be my opponents. I'm just dissecting their game plans and trying to apply it and put myself in those situations. But I'm definitely tuned in on a nightly basis. I'm watching these guys and looking forward to the challenge of next round.
As a veteran and one of the leaders of this team, can you just acknowledge the growth of some of the young players on you guys' squad? I'm a huge fan of Ayton. And anytime you get drafted and you go in front of Luka or you go in front of Trey, it's hard for people to say that was a good decision. But that was a good decision. What about Mikal Bridges and those long arms that's basically dragging down to the floor, locking down on D, and Johnson coming in off the bench, and even Campaign reinventing himself and playing quality minutes. So just talk about your young core group of fellas that's really stepped up their game in their first playoff.
Jalen, all the guys you just mentioned, it's the first time in the postseason, and you wouldn't even notice it by watching them play. I just feel like they're all fearless. They all wanted this moment. They all prepared for this moment, and they prepare for each and every game the same way. They're going into it knowing their job, knowing what we ask of them as a team, and they're trying to apply it on a nightly basis. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a bunch of young guys who are just fearless and not scared of the moment and stepping right into it. And I just feel like I saw that from a distance, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to come over here, because a lot of young guys just fearless, playing hard, playing the game the right way, and I just wanted to be a part of that. But I'm glad to be a big brother to them. They ask questions on a daily basis. I'm here for them. Chris is here for them. Coach Muncie's been there for them, and it's just been great. Dope. It's been a great chemistry. It's been great to just see these guys really try to learn and try to put their imprint on the game of basketball, especially at this level.
Jay, thank you so much for taking the time to join us on
Jalen
Jacoby.
We'll be rooting Best
for
of
you
luck.
the rest of your run in the playoffs.
Thank you guys, man, for having me.
All love, family. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, I'm talking about Game 4 against the Jazz. The Clippers again fell down 0-2 in the series, and now they find themselves again tied up. What was it about this Clippers performance that got them to even the series?
The Jazz are going to need to get Mike Conley back. But the main thing is when your two-star players in back-to-back playoff games each score 30. That hasn't happened many times in the history of the NBA. Home floor, it always is great for me to watch when Kawhi decides that he's about to take over. And everybody that's watching this year's playoffs, you know my favorite thing about it, Jacoby? It looks different. Like so many times I'm watching NBA basketball and I'm seeing 5 guys standing around the three-point line and everybody just jacking up the three as soon as they get it and not working the game. I'm seeing Chris Paul work the game. I'm seeing Kawhi Leonard work the game. I'm seeing PJ Tucker and Jae Crowder be tough and physical defenders that are also knocking down threes. That looks different. It looks different, and it's refreshing. And the other thing for the Clippers, Morris three-point shooting. He's always going to have one of those games in a series where he makes like 5 threes in a game. Unfortunately for the Jazz, that was in this game. And Rudy Gobert, as you see, and/or Favors is the defender on those. That's why you want to get him out there to spread the floor and take advantage of those guys. And he did a terrific job of being productive.
Donovan Mitchell played well in this one. The Jazz threatened a little bit in the fourth quarter, but never really got it down to its sort of striking distance at the end. Jalen, Donovan Mitchell doesn't seem to be 100%. Do you think they can get him back healthy for a pivotal Game 5?
I believe if he needed to go back in the game, they could have put him back in the game. So I think health-wise, he'll be just fine. The thing I'm worried about is his usage. See, you look at the stat sheet and Utah made 17 threes, but how they're getting them in this series isn't necessarily how they got them during the regular season. And it's because they need Spider Mitchell to be outstanding because either they're behind and or they don't have Conley and or the matchups just are more favorable to your best player on the perimeter because he's a guy that you could get a ball to and go get a shot for him, go get a shot for everybody else. And they're going to need my guy Jordan Clarkson also to have a big game. I anticipate the next game that these two teams play, Jordan is going to have a big game because his team is going to need it. That's why he's the sixth man of the year.
Absolutely. Jalen, very quickly, I want to talk to you about a story The Athletic reported yesterday about Luka Doncic and sort of the turmoil going on in the locker room in the front office with the Dallas Mavericks. Very quickly, do you think that the Mavs should be worried about Luka staying long-term in Dallas?
No, because unlike Aaron Rodgers, he went to the podium after they lost the playoff series and was asked a question after his, 46-14, do you want to stay in Dallas? And he says, I'm going to resign. So there's no reason for Dallas to worry. Now, however, the employee that allegedly doesn't get along with Luka will know the answer to this really quick. Because if he stays with the team and Luka resigns, then it goes against the article. If Luka resigns and he gets fired, it supports the article. The answer is going to be in front of us. And I'm sure Mark Cuban already heard what he needed to hear. And that's that Luka plans on returning.
Jalen, who is joining us right after this very short break?
Jae Crowder. This is a guy that played more defense in the previous game than I played in 20 years of organized basketball. Is joining the show next.